Step out of the vehicle, now! The command slashes through the crisp Chicago morning. Red and blue lights ricochet off glass towers. Cars pull over. Horns blare in irritation. But all eyes shift to the black Lexus sedan edging to the curb, tires scraping concrete. Officer Daniels pushes open his cruiser door. His boots hit the asphalt with sharp intent. One hand rests on his holster. This car has been flagged as stolen. Inside, Judge Carla Johnson steadies her breath. She adjusts the mirror, catching a glimpse of her own eyes. Calm, deliberate, controlled. She's 5 blocks from her courthouse. 20 minutes from delivering a ruling in a police corruption case that has the entire department on edge. Now, the department is on her. The dashboard camera blinks red, silent, recording, waiting to become evidence. Daniels steps closer, voice tight with authority. Hands on the wheel. Don't make a move. Johnson complies. Her leather briefcase sits on the passenger seat, half open. Inside, sealed court documents, her black judicial robes, her federal ID, every item screams legitimacy. Yet none of it matters to the man approaching with suspicion painted across his face. A second cruiser squeals in, tires screeching. 2 more officers climb out. Reynolds young, his movements unsure. Behind him, another partner follows Daniels' lead. To them, it looks like a routine felony procedure. But Reynolds lingers, eyes narrowing on the driver. The woman inside isn't frantic, isn't evasive. She's too still, too composed. Something's wrong, but he doesn't have the confidence to say it aloud. Pedestrians slow. Phones rise. A teenager mutters to his friend, "Yo, keep recording." A mother pushes her stroller back from the sidewalk, whispering to another woman, "Isn't that Judge Johnson?" The crowd grows, murmurs swelling with curiosity. Daniels doesn't notice. His tunnel vision is locked on the Lexus. Johnson speaks, her voice calm, even. "Officer, I am retrieving my identification as requested." Her hand inches toward her purse. Daniels stiffens, snapping his command like a whip. "Don't move!" His fingers tighten around the holster. The air goes still. Even the traffic noise feels muted. One wrong twitch and this could end in blood. Reynolds swallows, hesitant. "Daniels, maybe we should—" "Quiet!" Daniels snaps, cutting him down. For a split second, Johnson is pulled back years earlier, standing in a courtroom hallway fresh off her appointment, dressed in robes still stiff from the tailor. A security guard blocking her entry. "This area is restricted, ma'am. Judges only." "I am the judge," she replied. The man stammered, then stepped aside, face red with disbelief. The sting of that moment sharpens her resolve now. She will not be erased. Not again. "Exit the vehicle." Daniel's voice is clipped, final. Johnson opens her door slowly. Every movement deliberate, her posture unyielding. She steps onto the pavement, the September breeze tugging her silk blouse. The courthouse dome looms faintly in the distance, just visible above rooftops. Her wallet is half out of her purse, the gold seal of the federal judiciary glinting in the light. "I am Judge Carla Johnson, United States District Court," she states firmly. Daniels doesn't even look. Hands on the hood. Her palms press against the hood of the Lexus, warm from the sun. The murmurs of the crowd grow louder. A man whispers, "That's the federal judge." "What is he doing?" Daniels yanks her arms back. The handcuffs snap shut, loud, metallic. The sound echoes like a gavel. Judgment reversed. "You are making a mistake, Officer Daniels," she says, her voice low but steady. "Everyone says that," he sneers. Reynolds watches, shifting uncomfortably. He knows the steps are wrong. No ID check, no confirmation. Daniels is acting on arrogance, not procedure. Daniels leans toward his radio, muttering into the mic. "Dispatch. Confirm plate number on black Lexus, southbound Michigan Avenue." "Suspect detained." Static crackles. Then a pause. "Copy Unit 5417. Stand by," but Daniels doesn't wait. His pride won't allow delay. Across the street, a man in a gray suit freezes mid-step. Marcus Lee, Assistant District Attorney. He recognizes her instantly. His mentor, his judge, their eyes meet. One small nod passes between them. Silent agreement, Marcus raises his phone, begins recording. The church tower nearby tolls, 9:17 a.m. Her courtroom expects her in 13 minutes. Instead, she stands cuffed, paraded like a criminal. The irony is unbearable. But Judge Johnson allows none of it to show, because she knows something Daniels doesn't. This isn't just a traffic stop. It's the beginning of his end. The cuffs dig into Judge Johnson's wrists. Daniels stands rigid, chest puffed. Reynolds shifts nervously, eyes darting between the crowd and his partner. A police radio crackles. Unit 214 on scene. A third cruiser pulls in. Out steps Lieutenant Miguel Ramirez. Calm, measured, the kind of presence that resets a scene. His eyes sweep over everything. Professional woman cuffed beside a Lexus. Daniels posturing. Reynolds uncertain. A restless crowd. Livestream icons glowing red. Something is off. Report, Ramirez orders. Daniels answers quickly. Vehicle matched a stolen report. The suspect reached for her purse. Ramirez glances at Johnson. Posture straight, eyes steady. Not a carjacker. Not even close. Did you confirm with dispatch? Daniels hesitates. Working on it. The radio interrupts. Unit 5417, negative stolen. Plate registered to Carla Johnson, Federal Judiciary. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Someone shouts, "Told you!" Daniels talks over it louder. Dispatch must be wrong. She moved for something. Could have been a weapon. Johnson's voice cuts sharp, steady. Lieutenant, my ID is in my purse with sealed court documents. I am Judge Carla Johnson. In 11 minutes, I'm due to preside over a corruption case naming your department. Murmurs ripple. Phones zoom in. A man mutters, "Oh, this is bad." Daniel's jaw tightens. Ramirez's expression hardens. From the sidewalk, "That's her." The judge. Another voice. "Check her ID already." Daniels spins. "Back off. Interfering with police procedure." The crowd jeers. A teenager shouts, "This ain't procedure. It's a circus." Laughter ripples. Phones stay raised. Ramirez signals calm. He opens Johnson's purse himself, drawing out the ID. The gold seal glitters. United States District Court. Judicial identification. Reynolds blurts, "That's real." Daniels sneers. Could be fake. People forge all the time. Reynolds pushes back, louder this time. With robes? With case files? Come on, man. The crowd chuckles. Daniels' authority slips. Ramirez studies the ID under sunlight, every feature matching. Daniels doubles down, voice rising. She still fits the description. You want to risk letting a thief walk? Johnson turns her head slightly, voice cool. You're not protecting the law, Officer Daniels. You're protecting your pride. The crowd hums agreement. Phones edge closer. The radio crackles again. Unit 5417, repeat. Lexus confirmed registered to Judge Carla Johnson. No theft. Release immediately. Final. On record. Ramirez turns. Unlock the cuffs now. Daniels hesitates. The key trembles in his grip. His pride refuses. The crowd begins to chant, soft but building. Unlock her. Unlock her. Daniels' knuckles whiten. He doesn't move. Johnson leans toward Ramirez, her tone surgical. If these cuffs stay on, this street becomes a courtroom. And Officer Daniels, you're already guilty. Gasps, shouts. Phones rise higher. Ramirez's stare burns into Daniels. Sweat beads on Daniels' temple. Inside the precinct, fluorescent lights buzz. Phones buzz too, clips from the stop already viral. Daniels shoves Johnson forward. Booker, Reynolds swallows. On what charge, sir? Daniels barks. Stolen vehicle, resisting. Johnson tilts her chin. Dispatch cleared me twice. You cuffed me anyway. Every second is evidence. Silence. Ramirez folds his arms. Behind the counter, Sergeant Miller scans records. Name? Daniels. Carla Johnson. Miller pauses, his tone cool. District Court Judge Carla Johnson? The room stiffens. Ramirez stays silent. Daniels forces a laugh. Pretending. Seen it before. Miller prints a record, slaps it down. Active appointment. Federal bench. Right here. Your cuffs are on a judge, the words sting. Reporters' voices echo faintly from the lobby. Ramirez sets Johnson's purse down. Miller pulls, judicial ID, hologram strip glowing, black robes, federal sealed case files. Miller exhales. Not pretend, Daniels' denial mutates. It's staged. She set us up. You don't see it? She's clever, but she'll slip. Johnson studies him, calm. Every word he speaks is evidence, she thinks. Every denial is another nail in his coffin. Her voice is crisp. Unlawful detention. Ignored dispatch. Cuffed without probable cause. Transported in violation of protocol. All captured on camera. That's your trap, Officer Daniels. One you built yourself. Reynolds blurts. She's right. I heard her ID herself. We all did. Sir, this isn't right. Daniels whirls on him, furious. But Reynolds doesn't flinch this time. Ramirez orders, pull Daniels' record. Pages spool from the printer. Complaints, warnings, IA reports. Miller slams the stack down. Quite the pattern. Johnson tilts her head. Pattern in practice. Exactly what my court is about today. Daniels snaps. Internal affairs won't touch me. They never do. You think she can take me down? She's dreaming. But his voice cracks under the weight of the file. Ramirez leans close, voice like steel. You didn't just stop Alexis. You stopped a federal judge. On the morning she's set to rule on police corruption. And the whole city's watching. Daniels' shoulders slump, but his mouth clings to denial. She's not untouchable. Johnson steps forward as Miller unlocks her cuffs. No one is. Not judges. Not officers. Especially not liars. The cuffs fall away. The courtroom aura settles around her. Ramirez says softly, Judge Johnson, we'll escort you back to court. Daniels will be handled, but Johnson shakes her head. No, bring him with me. In custody. As evidence, the room freezes. Reynolds stares. Miller blinks. Daniels shakes his head, speechless. Reporters' voices echo closer now, hungry. Johnson's tone cuts final. If he thinks I'm a criminal, let him stand beside me as the law decides who truly is. The silence is electric. Ramirez studies her. Then slowly he nods. The courthouse looms, marble columns stark against the sky. Reporters swarm the steps, cameras flashing, microphones thrust forward. When the precinct doors open, the crowd parts. Judge Johnson walks tall, cuffs gone, but dignity unshaken. On her left, Lieutenant Ramirez. On her right, Officer Daniels, now cuffed, fury barely contained, gasps ripple. Shouts fly. Is that the officer? They arrested him. What happened out there? Phones tilt upward. Livestream notifications ping in waves. Johnson doesn't answer. Her silence is thunder. The chamber is packed wall to wall. Lawyers, activists, officials, ordinary citizens. Every seat filled, aisles lined with spectators holding phones high. As Johnson enters, whispers ripple. A bailiff calls, All rise. The room obeys, a shiver of anticipation running through the gallery. But Johnson isn't in her robe. Not yet. Today, she sits first as witness, not judge, and the gallery knows it. The prosecutor, Elena Carter, rises. Her voice slices through the murmurs. Your Honor, or rather Judge Johnson, the prosecution requests permission to enter into evidence the events of this very morning. Defense counsel scrambles. Objection! Irrelevant! Carter fires back loud enough for the gallery to hear. Irrelevant? A federal judge cuffed unlawfully by the very department on trial for corruption? That is the case. That is the pattern. The gallery hums with approval. A wave of whispers and nods. Presiding Judge Monroe leans forward. Proceed carefully. All eyes shift to Johnson. Johnson strides to the witness chair. Cameras flash. Pens scratch furiously. She raises her hand for oath, then sits, composed as stone. Carter. Judge Johnson, describe the events of this morning. Johnson. Stopped without cause. Cuffed despite cleared dispatch. Transported unlawfully. Documented on live stream. Carter. And who gave the order? Johnson turns deliberately. Officer Daniels. A ripple moves through the crowd. Gasps, whispers, phones buzzing. Head swivel toward Daniels. Daniels leans forward, sarcasm dripping. Oh, brilliant. The judge plays the victim. Poor me, treated like a regular citizen, the gallery murmurs. Some laugh bitterly, others scoff. Johnson doesn't blink. The law doesn't need my defense, officer. It only needs your truth. Daniel's smirk falters. His voice rises, sharper. She staged this. You don't get it. The cameras, the crowd, all of it. She planned this from the start. Judge Monroe slams his gavel. Order! Officer Daniels silence unless addressed, but Daniels' voice cracks into a shout. "This whole thing is a setup! She hates cops! She wants to destroy us!" Johnson's reply is ice. "No, Officer Daniels. You destroyed yourself. I only had to watch." The gallery reacts, a wave of gasps and low whistles. Someone mutters, "She got him," Carter signals. The courtroom dims, screens glow. The live stream plays, Daniels clamping cuffs on Johnson, Johnson clearly identifying herself, the crowd chanting, "Unlock her!" Dispatch clearing her car twice, Daniels refusing to release her. Gasps and whispers ripple with each clip. Phones buzz as people text updates in real time. Carter's voice is sharp. "Is this you, Officer Daniels?" Daniels snarls. "It's edited." Out of context, Carter strikes like a hammer. Context? The only context here is your arrogance broadcast live to thousands. The gallery erupts in murmurs, a few even clapping before the gavel slams again. Johnson speaks, her voice slicing the room quiet. "Every second of this morning is evidence. Not against me, against him. Against a system that shields pride instead of protecting truth." The gallery buzzes in agreement. Activists nod, reporters scribble, phones capture every word. Carter drops the thick personnel file on the table. The thud reverberates like a verdict. Excessive force complaints, misconduct warnings, investigations buried. "This isn't character evidence, Your Honor. It's a pattern that speaks louder than excuses." Monroe eyes the stack. "Admitted," the gallery murmurs, some shaking their heads. A woman whispers loudly enough for all, "How was he even still on the force?" Daniels shifts in his seat, sweat now visible. "Carter, we call Officer Reynolds." Reynolds walks stiffly, nervous but resolute. He takes the oath, voice shaky. Carter, "Did Judge Johnson identify herself?" Reynolds, "Yes, she said it clearly." Carter, "Did dispatch confirm her car was not stolen?" Reynolds, "Twice over the radio." Carter, "So why was she cuffed?" Reynolds swallows. His words come halting, heavy, because Officer Daniels wouldn't listen. "He didn't care. I froze. I should have stopped it. And I regret not doing more." The gallery stirs, some sympathetic, others angry. Daniels glares daggers, but Reynolds holds steady, guilt etched into his face. Carter turns to Monroe. "Your Honor, the evidence shows not mere error, but willful abuse. Daniels ignored dispatch, silenced his partner, and detained a federal judge." Daniels snaps, his voice breaking into raw rage. "She's twisting it. She's corrupt. Don't you people see?" Monroe slams his gavel. "Silence!" But Daniels leans forward, shouting over the roar, "This isn't over. She'll fall, not me. This whole court will fall with her." Phones buzz madly. The gallery explodes. Gasps, shouts, reporters scribbling furiously. The gavel pounds again and again, but it's too late. The courtroom is a storm, and Daniels is at its center. The gavel's echo fades, but the courtroom still vibrates with energy. Whispers, phone notifications, the hum of 100 eyes locked on Daniels. Judge Monroe exhales slowly. "Proceed, but keep control." Carter nods, but her eyes never leave Daniels. Carter, "Officer Daniels, you claim this was staged. Explain how a federal judge managed to falsify dispatch records, live streams, and your own body cam simultaneously." Laughter ripples through the gallery. Daniels' face burns. Daniels, She had help. This whole court's in on it. The media, internal affairs, all of them." The gallery erupts in disbelief. A reporter mutters loudly, "He's losing it." Monroe bangs the gavel. "Control yourself, officer." Johnson leans forward slightly, her voice cool, surgical. "You speak of conspiracies, Officer Daniels. But corruption doesn't require a conspiracy, just arrogance and silence. You've supplied both." Gasps ripple. Phones rise higher. The line lands like a gavel strike. Carter gestures to the technician. Another video begins to play, Daniels' own body cam. It shows the stop in stark clarity, Johnson's calm voice identifying herself. Dispatch clearing her. Daniels' refusal. The cuffs snapping shut. Reynolds' face in the background. Conflicted, frozen. The gallery is riveted. Daniels looks smaller now, shrinking as his own lens condemns him. Carter, "Is this also edited, officer?" Daniels mutters. Doesn't matter. None of this matters. She's after me. Daniels jerks forward in his seat, eyes wild. You people don't get it. She's dangerous. She wants every cop's badge on her wall. Today it's me. Tomorrow, all of you. Shouts rise from the gallery. Some laugh, others jeer. The gavel slams again. Monroe. Officer Daniels! One more outburst and I will have you removed. Daniels spits. Remove me? Go ahead, this whole place is rigged. Reynolds stands suddenly, voice cracking but firm. Enough! No one rigged anything, Daniels. You ignored dispatch. You cuffed her. You embarrassed all of us. And I stood there. That's my shame. But it's yours that put us here. The gallery gasps. Some clap before Monroe snaps for order. Daniels glares, betrayal etched in his face. Johnson speaks again. Calm, deliberate. Officer Reynolds chose silence, then truth. You chose pride, then lies. That's the difference. She turns her eyes to Daniels. You claim you were protecting the law. But laws aren't protected by arrogance. They're destroyed by it. The gallery hums. Agreement, murmurs, furious scribbling from reporters. Daniels' voice cracks, half shout, half plea. You don't understand what it's like out there. Split-second decisions! Everyone watching, waiting for you to slip. Johnson answers, voice low, almost sympathetic. I understand better than you think. Every decision I make sends someone home, or to prison. But I do not get to call arrogance justice. Neither do you. The gallery is silent now. Heavy. Carter seizes the moment. Your Honor, we have live recordings, dispatch records, body cam evidence, corroborating testimony, and a personnel file full of misconduct. This is not one mistake. This is a pattern of willful abuse. She turns sharply, pointing to Daniels. And today, he cuffed not just a judge, but the truth itself. Luckily, the truth broke free. The gallery erupts in applause before Monroe slams the gavel again. Daniels snaps, shouting over the noise. You'll all regret this. You think you're heroes? You're tearing down the shield that protects you! Without us, there's chaos. Johnson rises slowly from the witness chair, her presence commanding silence. No, Officer Daniels. Without truth, there's chaos. Without accountability, there's tyranny. The badge doesn't make you a shield. Today, it made you a mirror. The gallery gasps, the line echoing like a verdict. Monroe's gavel slams. This court has heard enough. Officer Daniels, you are remanded to custody pending further charges. This court will recess before resuming the corruption trial. The gallery erupts, cameras flashing, reporters shouting, activists cheering. Security moves in around Daniels. As deputies grab his arms, Daniels thrashes. This isn't justice. She's corrupt. You're all blind. His voice cracks into something pitiful, desperate. Phones capture every second. Johnson watches, expression unreadable. Ramirez stands steady beside her. Reynolds lowers his head, shame and relief mixing. For the first time all day, Judge Johnson allows a breath. She looks out at the gallery, at the faces, the phones, the truth reflected back at her. She whispers almost to herself, justice isn't loud. But today, it had to be. Reporters catch every word. The phrase begins its journey, from courtroom to headline to viral quote. The gavel's echo fades into a roar of voices, reporters shouting, activists clapping, officials whispering in corners. Deputies drag Daniels out, his curses trailing down the corridor. Inside, the chamber buzzes like a hive. Judge Monroe slams his gavel one last time. This court will recess. When we return, justice will continue without theatrics. The crowd shuffles, still buzzing. Phones glow as clips hit the internet in real time, and yet, the day's chaos is only the beginning. The fallout will spread far beyond these walls. She watches the gallery empty, catching fragments of whispers. Did you see the video? She destroyed him. About time someone stood up. She exhales slowly. This was never about destroying one officer, she thinks. It's about breaking a pattern. Her clerk approaches breathless. Judge, it's everywhere already. Trending in minutes, Johnson nods, her expression unreadable. Truth has a way of traveling faster than lies. Let it. Ramirez steps closer, voice low. You held your ground. Most would have cracked under that kind of spectacle. Johnson looks at him. And what about you, Lieutenant? Where do you stand when the pattern stares back at you? Ramirez doesn't flinch. His jaw tightens. Silence won't protect us anymore, not me. Not anyone. Their eyes hold. Not enemies, not yet allies, but two people who understand the weight of accountability. Reynolds lingers nearby, shifting awkwardly. Finally, he speaks. Judge Johnson, I'm sorry. I should have spoken up sooner. I froze. Johnson studies him. Fear is human. Silence is choice. You chose silence today, but you also chose truth. Remember which choice you want to live with. Reynolds nods, shame heavy, but a spark of resolve flickering. I won't freeze again. Down the hall, cameras swarm as Daniels is escorted through holding. His face is red, sweat glistening, eyes darting like a cornered animal. Reporters shout, Officer Daniels, any comment? Do you regret it? Daniels snarls into the cameras. This isn't over. She set me up. I'll be back. The deputies shove him forward, but every word is caught, uploaded, dissected. Within minutes, hashtags spread. Mirror badge. Ah, Judge V's cop. Ah, truth on camera. When recess ends, the chamber refills, thicker with tension than before. Monroe returns, robes heavy, expression grim. This court resumes. The corruption case continues, but now, every eye sees the case differently. Daniels wasn't just one bad actor. He was a symptom. And Johnson's morning ordeal is Exhibit A. Carter seizes the moment. Your Honor, today we've seen not just misconduct, but the danger of unchecked power. One officer, emboldened by silence, nearly derailed justice itself. This case is about ensuring that silence ends. The gallery hums, the energy undeniable. Outside, media vans line the block. Anchors speak live. Today's corruption trial took an unexpected turn. A federal judge detained, then vindicated, all on camera. Officer Daniels now faces charges of misconduct, abuse of power, and contempt of court. Clips replay across every channel, every feed. Daniels' name trends, but not as he once imagined, not as a hero, but as a cautionary tale. In neighborhoods across the city, people gather around phones and TVs. Some cheer. Finally, someone stood up to them. Others whisper, if it can happen to a judge, what about the rest of us? The story ignites debate about power, truth, and who really serves justice. As proceedings stretch into evening, Monroe signals for final remarks. Johnson, robe draped once more, speaks not as a victim, but as a judge. Justice is not the absence of error. It is the courage to confront error when it appears. Today we confronted it, not just in one man, but in a pattern that demanded silence. This court will no longer be silent. The gavel strikes. The gallery rises. Phones buzz with the line already shared. In his cell that night, Daniels sits on a metal bench, head in his hands. The shouts of reporters are gone, replaced by silence. He lifts his head slightly, eyes hollow. They think they won, he mutters. Just a whisper. Bitter, small, chilling, then nothing. Later that night, Johnson sits by her window, robe folded neatly beside her. The city hums outside, restless but alive. She scrolls through her phone. Clips of her words replayed, hashtags trending, strangers calling her a hero. She sighs softly. Justice isn't performance, it's patience. Her eyes lift to the skyline. Tomorrow we go back to work. In his office, Ramirez stares at the stack of Daniels' file. His pen hovers, then presses firmly across the top. Recommended for prosecution. He exhales, a man who has carried the weight of silence too long. For the first time in years, he feels lighter. Reynolds sits in his car, staring at his reflection in the rearview mirror. His hands tremble, but not from fear, from resolve. He records a short message on his phone. My name is Officer Reynolds. Today I watched arrogance destroy my partner's career. I stayed silent too long. I won't again. He hits upload. By dawn, his video racks up tens of thousands of views. Comments pour in, respect for admitting it. This is what accountability looks like. More cops need to do this. Reynolds leans back, finally breathing easier. Across the city, officers, citizens, leaders all watch. The trial continues, but the ripple is bigger than one courtroom. Parents discuss it at dinner tables. Activists rally with new fire. Departments quietly review their own files. Change doesn't happen in a day, but today lit a spark. The next morning, Johnson steps into her chambers, robe in hand. Her clerk greets her nervously. Judge, the world is watching. Johnson smiles faintly. Let them. Justice was always meant to be public. She walks into the courtroom, steady, unshaken, ready. As the gavel strikes to resume the corruption trial, her voice echoes one final time. Justice is not about who wears the cuffs. It is about who tells the truth. She turns slightly, locking eyes with Ramirez at the prosecution table. He nods once, firm. And silence won't protect us anymore. The line hangs in the air, caught by every phone, every camera, every ear, and just like that, a day that began with arrogance ends with truth. Louder, sharper, undeniable.